and both in the subbed and dubbed. So, I mean, when you get this, I mean, just imagining watching the fight in the subbed when you see Jiraiya and Itachi fight, and then hearing them fight. Oh, I said this wrong. Hold on.
I'll cut it out. Go ahead.
Hold on, let me say that again. Hold on.
Yeah, I love that episode.
Hold on, I didn't say this with a straight face. I was gonna say, imagine watching the fight, them fight in the subs, and then hearing the fight in the dub. And then with all like 720 episodes total, imagine watching both Jiraiya and Itachi fight in the sub, and then hearing them fight in the dub. That's like exponential engrossment in Naruto. So that's just, at the end of the day, we are...
God, we get it together.
So qualified. Now, getting back to what Dygo said, if you haven't already subscribed...
Wait, I'll continue. I'll go. When you were talking about Itachi versus Jiraiya, I think it's very important for us to decide what type of tea Itachi actually likes, which is one of the most important aspects of fighting in any versus battle. We see that the first time Itachi was drinking tea, he actually drank it with his right hand, meaning that Itachi is right-handed.
It's very interesting that Itachi uses his right hand to drink his tea, because if you look in the Search for Tsunade arc, Jiraiya uses his left hand to drink the drink that Tsunade ends up drugging him with, which is perfect because it shows a good parallel polar opposite dynamic between Jiraiya and Itachi, just like Naruto and Sasuke, where Naruto was right-handed while Sasuke was left-handed. But in this case, Itachi is right-handed while Jiraiya is left-handed. So I think that dynamic is definitely going to play a pivotal role in this fight, because it obviously did for Naruto and Sasuke. So why would it not for the two, like, big brother, father figure? Like, they play a similar role for each other. Itachi is to Sasuke a similar thing as Jiraiya is for Naruto. Not exactly the same, because Itachi is Sasuke's brother, whereas Jiraiya is Naruto's godfather, but they have a very similar dynamic in terms of their losses in the story, and of course, the right and left hand dynamic. So...
And of course, the very next thing I want to discuss is the arms, like they were saying. So it's really interesting. So Itachi's one-sided hand and Jiraiya's the other-sided hand. I think what's really important to add to this aspect is the aspect that Sasuke is actually left-handed, and in Boruto 2 Blue Vortex, he becomes Hidari, which, as you can see on my screen, Hidari in Japanese means left. And so, coincidence? I think not. Obviously, the left-hand dominant genes were left dormant within Fugaku Uchiha, Itachi's father. So I think it's possible that Itachi has left-hand genetics hidden deep within his body somewhere on a genetic level, which is also relevant within the themes of the Naruto story.
Itachi uses crows, which in literature tends to have a more gloomy undertone to it. You see it a lot in horror disaster scenes, whereas Jiraiya uses toads. What's really interesting about that, though, is both many birds, including crows, and toads eat bugs. So they attack the same being as their nutrient source. And that's really interesting because, like you just said, Itachi has dormant left-hand genes within his genetic pool because of Fugaku. And as we know, Jiraiya literally drinks with his left hand, indicating that he's left-handed. That could be a symbolic metaphor for the fact that both toads and crows eat bugs, because it's in their genetics to have that same connection there, which is really interesting because, again, it's another parallel between Jiraiya and Itachi versus Naruto and Sasuke. We know that Naruto and Sasuke were rivals, so it makes sense for Jiraiya and Itachi to also be rivals. And
no, but
you have to deal with fighting Itachi.
Before we even talk about that, Kamui,
Jiraiya, but Kakuzu he's not the most popular character in the Naruto Top 99, but he was very difficult to beat. And I think that's important to note because, yeah, I mean, it's definitely tough, but if I had to pick a winner...
Oh yeah, I would definitely say...
Honestly, now that I thought about it, the winner's definitely